Hello, my name is Kyla Johnson, and I'm currently an environmental science major at CSU. Today we'll be discussing species extinction, the cause, the effect, and the solution to it. So when you go about your day, you probably don't stop and consider, is every action I'm taking going to affect another species or going to affect the environment? I mean, I don't even do that on a regular basis. So I just want to draw your attention to it, because this is a serious threat and it's often overlooked, but the main cause of species extinction is us. So I just want to draw your attention to it so we can work together to help this issue. So we'll just go ahead and dig in. Species extinction includes 5 topics. So this includes overharvesting, habitat loss, invasive species, pollution, and climate change. And we'll just go into each of these and discuss what they're about, and at the end we'll discuss what we can do about it. So overharvesting can also be called overexploitation, and this means to harvest to the point of diminishing returns. So we use species for food, for shelter, and for medicine purposes, so antibiotics, to keep you warm, or just to feed yourself. And the issue is that we could overhunt these species to the point of where there's no more. And this is a serious issue for the environments that they affect. So I want to reference Ambrose in Species Extinction and Endangered Species. He says the elimination of the Carolina parakeet and passenger pigeon has become a result of unregulated hunting in Georgia. So specifically to Georgia, we just don't have any regulations in place to protect these species. And what you don't realize is that every species plays a role in their ecosystem. And without them, something else may take the fall, and that's where we cause a domino effect with the species extinction. So next we'll discuss habitat loss. And this is defined as a disappearance of natural environments that home plants and animals. We remove natural environments for personal and industrial purposes. So we may use it to build homes or to build factories. And this is a serious issue because we are taking up a lot of natural land for expansion. And this isn't, majority of the planet has now become industrialized. And this is a serious issue for the environment. So I'm going to reference Ambrose, and he says, urban and suburban development has contributed greatly to habitat loss in Georgia. From 1992 to 1997, in just 5 years, approximately 1,053,200 acres in Georgia were converted from open space to developed land. When this happens, species are losing their homes, and it can cause them to have to either migrate into another ecosystem, or they have to try and fight. And not every species will make it. And that's where we come into the extinction. So next, we'll actually go over invasive species. So an invasive species is not native to the environment that they are currently in. So if we have to have another species move into another environment, this could cause an issue. They can be introduced to another environment by seeds catching on clothes, being transported by people, or people bringing in animals to control pests. So this is a serious issue because, like I stated, they're going to have to fight. The species that are already in that environment are going to have to fight the species, and they may not be able to. I'm actually going to reference the Georgia DNR. For the first time, an invasive northern snakehead fish has been confirmed in Georgia waters. And this is an issue because they have the potential to impact the species already there by competing for food and habitat. This fish has really sharp teeth, and it is very big. So it'll come in and it'll just fight the other fish, and they're just out of luck, and they may not survive. And it's honestly sad to see that a lot of species don't make it due to simple things like this, and it's our fault. So next we're going to discuss pollution. And this is defined as the introduction of contaminants into the natural environment. Pollution directly relates to climate change. And this is a dramatic change in global climate conditions, including weather, temperature, and sea levels. It is specifically due to an influx of greenhouse gases. So this is actually happening right now. We've had a lot of storms due to this specific thing. So, greenhouse gases come from vehicles, they come from factories, they come from pesticides, and it can seriously mess up the environment, and it is currently. I'm actually going to reference the article Rising Pollution is Endangering Species. And it states agriculture is the biggest threat to endangered species. This is because pesticides are poisonous to the environment and species. There have been regulations put in place for certain products, but not all of them. And that is simply because other individuals want to make a profit. So it comes right back down to our greed. We need to stop and consider what we are doing and consider if it's going to affect another species or the environment. Alright, so that's going to conclude my topics. I'm just going to go over a few diagrams with you guys. I'm going to take you over the actual causes of species extinction. So right here it says invasive species and disease is 11%. We got 7% for pollution. Climate change is 8%, overexploitation is 24%, and habitat loss is 50%. So that is a large portion. Like I said, majority of the world has become industrialized. That is a serious, serious issue. And also hunting to no return. So we just need to stop and we need to consider it, over-harvesting, habitat loss, invasive species, pollution, and climate change. Consider it every day when you go about your activities. And think, what can you do to improve these issues? So I'll just conclude referencing Ambrose. If humans can curb their excessive consumption of natural resources and place greater emphasis on protection, restoration, and maintenance of the Earth's remaining natural habitats, they may be able to salvage much of the Earth's remaining biological diversity. The issue is, we are the most selfish race there is. We prefer comfort, income, luxury, over the well-being of the world, the environment. So we must all come together to make a difference. Therefore, we must reduce our consumption of resources, put more funding into protective agencies, restore what we take, and be considerate of the environment around us. Simple actions such as using less water, recycling, donating, and not hunting species can help. So next time you go about your day, consider if what you're about to do will harvest anything, affect a habitat, introduce an invasive species, pollute, or contribute to climate change. Well, thank you, and I hope that you guys make a change.